So let's talk about returns, and this gets into my most depressing part of the presentation. But first, some good news. America has had the best returns globally for the last 116 years. I don't want to brag. I'm not trying to brag here. But so this has been the UK, right here. So near the top, very close to the top. Don't get me wrong. But why is this so important? Okay, well, I said earlier that researchers are lazy. Okay, and I think a lot of them kind of are. So what they tend to do is we use historical U.S. returns as the benchmark for research on safe withdrawal rates. Okay, we'll say we'll say, oh, we have 90 years of history or 200 years of history to figure out what is safe to pull from a portfolio. Okay, is that robust? Okay, so if you run a projection or you do an analysis, you can change variables to see how it affects the outcomes. Well, what if, and these numbers are the real return, so after inflation return of a balanced portfolio over the time period. It's stellar. 5% for 116 years after inflation, that's just phenomenal. Okay, but what if we all used Italy? No offense to the Italians, if there's any here, but what if we also tacked on a fee? Right? Because investing 20 years ago was expensive. Investing 40 years ago was incredibly expensive. Right? So what if we just said, hey, we're going to tack on investment fees and we're going to just use Italy's returns of 1.28%. We're going to tack on a fee and assume returns were zero. Okay, how much would that change all this research on safe withdrawal rates? What would it do if we used Germany or France or Japan versus the US? That's an important question to ask, right? Because it has a huge effect. Right, so what I'm showing you here is what is the geometric real return of the portfolio? What is the chance of failure for a 4% initial withdrawal rate? Okay, historically, the US has been right here, about 5%. So there's actually been about a 5% chance of failure with a 4% rule. Incredibly safe. But what if we go back to Italy here, we tack on some fees, the chance of success increases to 75%. Here's the thing though, this is just an average. Right? That means if the average was 0%, there's been times where it's been much lower. Right? So again, this question of well, what is safe changes dramatically. Right? So this is, what I want to walk you through then here real quick is just how people like Bill Bengen came up with the 4% rule. Most of you may have seen this before, but let's just assume that it's the year 1900. And I'm going to retire. Okay? I'm going to assume retirement lasts for 30 years, and I want income for life increased by inflation over that 30-year time horizon. Okay? And success is defined as having that income amount every year for 30 years. Okay? So what I do is I'll run a projection, and if I accomplish my income goal, I succeed. So what I'll do is I'll start down here at 0.1%, and I'll run the projection. Was I successful? If I was, I'm going to keep going up. I'm going to notch up each time. Okay? Until I stop at, say, 5.4%. Okay, then I'm going to step forward 1 year. This is a balanced portfolio, half stocks, half bonds. Okay, I assume I retire in the year 1901, and it goes down a little bit. And then I kind of trace this forward over time. I'm walking forward 1 year, assuming retirement lasts for 30 years. Okay, what we see happened in the U.S. is that 4% was the worst case scenario. Okay, this is really important to kind of just look at and take in, because this is where it comes from right here. You just said, hey, this was the worst case outcome for the U.S. Now, a question is would we get the same result if we use returns for the UK? What do you all think? No. This is the UK. Okay, same exact analysis. I assume you retire in 1900, and I start testing what is the highest rate. You get about 2.7% here. Okay, this is very different than this. Right? Remember, both of these countries have had pretty good returns. Right? This is what it looks like, lots of color, for 20 different countries. Okay, I'm not trying to overwhelm you with my artistic drawing here. What I'm trying to show you is that look at all these numbers below 4%.